keep playing with lighting, and it looks bad. Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and I am here today to talk about my 2019 most disappointed reads. Now, I read a lot of books this year. I think I'm at around 250 mark, and I'm doing pretty well. You know, I'm not pushing myself to read as much as I can like all the previous years because obviously things have changed, like got busy. I can't always read all the time as much as I want to. I can't. It's not physically possible. But I read a lot of books that I thought were going to be 5 out of 5 stars, turned out to be like 2 out of 5 stars, and even worse, 1 out of 5 star. And usually my 1 out of 5 star books are the books that I want to hold in my hand just so I could chuck it across the road and so that traffic can run over it, because I really can't stand those books, and that's why I give it 1 out of 5 stars. Usually my 2 out of 5 stars means that that 1 extra star from the 1 out of 5 star is to give respect to the author for doing a good job at writing and for creating the world, but then they lost like 3 stars in the rating because they did a bad job at concluding the story, at making the plot, or like just developing characters that don't make any sense. And so this video focuses a lot on all the disappointing reads that I read this year. So the first book that comes to mind when I think, what's a really good disappointing read that I actually didn't like at all, and that has to be Faker by Sarah Smith. Now, this book is from Berkley Romance. It was released in the prime time of summertime, I believe. Everybody was hyped for it. It followed the illustrative characters and the illustrative covers that all the Berkley Romances seem to have this year around and soon to be next year. And I was hyped. It was a love-hate relationship. It was enemies to lovers. It was about a girl who works in this, like, not construction company, but it's a company that does a lot of, like, construction. And she's, like, I think she's in, no, she's not in marketing, but she's in, like, she's some manager in the department role. I completely forgot about it, but she works in this all male dominated workplace. So she has to, like, be all tough, and she has to fake her exterior that she is a very tough woman, and that all these sexist remarks and all these sexist comments don't hurt her, and that she's tougher than she seems. And while I appreciated those aspects, I didn't really like the relationship that was going on between her and the marketing manager, if I remember correctly. Like, they just have like a hate relationship. Like, there's no reason why they hated each other. They just did. They always snubbed each other. They always made the meanest remarks until they have to work on like this presentation, this project together where they actually have to play nice. And then that's when things kind of like start snowballing and things got intimate, and that's where things picked up, and I was like, okay, I kind of enjoy this. Like, this one I can mess with. Like, maybe it'll be 3 out of 5 stars. But then towards the ending, like, things happened out of nowhere, didn't even make sense. Character choices were not explained. Like, I was like, why are we doing this, and why are we thinking like this? And then conflict resolution in the end to make them be together was stupid. Like, it was like, it all happened in like 2 pages, and I was like, I would not trust this bitch at all. Like, I would not trust her. I would not trust him. I would not trust this relationship. So that's why I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars because I think I liked the writing. I gave it a chance. She was a debut author. You know, I was just being very, very nice, but really not that great. Now, the next book that really disappointed me had everything to do with me. It wasn't the author, I believe. It wasn't anything. It was just really just me and my personal preferences. But I thought for some reason that this book would change my mind about this certain trope that is starting to happen in a lot of romances. So we are entering into a weird era in our lives, are we not? Where technology is slowly taking over. We are using apps for everything, and we started using dating apps. Like, dating apps have been this very like popular thing now, where this is the norm for how you meet your significant other. This is the norm for how you meet your future partner and your boyfriend or girlfriend. So obviously the romance genre has to get into it. They have to write books about people falling in love through the app. So the book that kind of disappointed me was The Right Swipe by Alicia Ray. And this book disappointed me because it followed this really high-powered woman who created an app and then sold it off for a lot of money, or bought another app for a lot of money. I kind of got confused between like the plots here, but she either had a lot of money and then she took over another company, and then now she's just trying to dominate the whole like internet dating app world and universe, that she is this very powerful woman, and she's like very feminist, and she would not let you go unless you know that she's a feminist and that she is like the boss. Okay, while I respect that, and while I want to radiate that energy, that people know that you can't mess with me just because I am a female, it doesn't mean that I'm less than you. I found that she was kind of obnoxious with it, and she was kind of annoying with it, and I was like, you're not really winning anything now from me. And the whole premise of this whole story about like a dating app just kind of drew me out of the story anyways. Like, I realized that in 2019 that these books don't interest me because they're hitting too close to home. They're just kind of boring. So then that's why I didn't really like it, and I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. So this is exactly why I say, like, this is very personal reason. Like, I know a lot of people really like this book, and I know a lot of people gave this book a chance and they really enjoyed it, and they're really excited to read the next book in the series. But because I am a modern age woman who does use dating app, it just gets really awkward, and I just don't like reading stories about that. The next disappointing read for me would have to be Meet Cute by Helena Henting. And this one, new to me author, new book that I picked up, thought I would give it a try, had a really cute cover on it, and the premise sounded cute. It's about this girl who is a very high-powered lawyer. She's doing well for herself, but then her partner comes in and tells her you have to take this case that deals with like this family who's recently fell apart because the parents died in a car crash, and then now it's this like man who is entrusted to take care of his little sister, and they're both lawyers, and then they realize that they were in the same law school, they were in the same law class, they had a thing for each other, they had a very cute meet cute, but then something happened where she felt like she was being betrayed, or she's been betrayed, and now they're no longer like in contact with each other. And then now, after all these years, after she built up her career and built up everything, she meets him again, and she has to take on his case. From what I described, it doesn't really sound like it's a great setup for a romance novel, because you're dealing with characters who are dealing with grief over their family members dying, and it focused a lot on that. So it's like, it's not really a romance in that sense. It is a romance because they end up together, but it's not going to be the romantic comedy that the cover depicts, right? So that's why I felt like a lot of us readers who are reviewing the book felt cheated on, because these covers are so misleading nowadays. Now there's this like whole discussion topic about like illustrative covers being very misleading, and just doing it so that they can follow this trend so that lots of people buy into it without realizing that the story inside isn't like how the cover depicts. But anyways, these are the 3 books that I have in my mind that were very disappointing to me. All the other books weren't either, they were not disappointing, they were more like mediocre books that didn't really have the effect to disappoint me. But these books were something that were really hyped up, that made me feel energetic to get it, that I was like, okay, yeah, like I'm game, Lisa, you got this, you can read it, you can give 5 out of 5 stars. And then once I started reading it, I was like, it's not even gonna get a 1 out of 5 stars. So sorry if I shat on your favorite books. I totally didn't mean it. Like, it's only my opinion, and this is just my opinion on things. Hopefully we have other similar reading tastes, and that we can really enjoy new books in the new year. But until next time, I'll see you guys again. Bye. Can't let you go. I can't let you go, no. 우리는 명절 다음 걸어겠죠.